Review Day 3, Exponent Properties. First of all, we're going to do is product of powers property. To multiply powers with the same base, you add their exponents. So multiply coefficients and add exponent. So for example, if you have something like x to the power 2 times 3 to the power 4, then you're going to multiply 3 and 2 as 6, and you're going to add the power of x, which is going to be 4 plus 2, 6. So here is an example. So this 3 and this 3 means that they have same base. Then you're going to just add their powers. So you're going to add the exponent because the base is same. So base same, you're going to add the exponent. That's going to be 2 plus 6, and that's going to be 8. The next number is same, so the base is same, and then you're going to add exponent. So it's going to be x to the power 7 because 4 plus 3, 7. Next property is called quotient of powers property. So if you divide powers with the same base, you subtract their exponent. So for example, if you have y to the power 10 over y to the power 7, that means that you have same base but you're dividing them. Then you're going to subtract the power on the top. It's 10 minus 7, so going to be y to the power 3 as your answer. Next example is the same. You have negative 5 to the power 8 minus 4, so it's going to be negative 5 to the power 4. On the quotient property, there could be a problem something like this. You can have 12 over 6 x to the power 9 over x to the power 4. So now in this case, what you do is that you divide these numbers, which is 12 divided by 6, that's 2. And then for the variables, you do the same property, that is the same base. You're going to subtract the 4 from 9. So the answer should be 2x to the power 5. Next property is power of power property. So power of a power multiply the exponent. So which means that 12 and 5 will multiply with each other, and you're going to get 60. And then negative 2 and negative 6, negative 2 and negative 5 will be multiplied to each other, and it's going to be negative 2 times negative 5. That is 10. Now let's just look at the powers of quotient property here and other problems like that. So power of a quotient property, to divide powers with the same base, you subtract their exponent. So for example, if you have 4 over 3, then you're going to first of all make them this way, and then if they have same base, then you can subtract it. In this case, we do not have a same base. Again, so x to the power 5 divided by x to the power y to the power 5. So that's all for these two. And if you want to look at the other examples, such as 4x squared divided by 3y third, and the power is 3, for example, then you're going to take this power to each number inside. So 4 to the power 3, x to the power 2 times 3, 3 to the power 3, and then y to the power 3 times 3. Now 4 to the power 3 means 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. 3 to the power 3 means 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. And then x to the power 2 times 3, which is 6. And y to the power 9. Now let's just look at number 11, and that's a negative exponent. So whenever you have a negative exponent, you always flip the number to make it positive. So the property for that is that you're going to make it 1 over, and to make it 1 over, the negative 2 become positive 2. And 4 to the power 2 is 16, so it's going to be 1 over 16. 3 to the power negative 3 become 1 over 3 to the power 3, and that is 1 over 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. And in this case here, 3 to the power becomes 9, but the x to the power negative 5, you have to make it underneath x to the power 5 because it's a negative exponent, so you have to flip it on the bottom and make it a fraction. Only for those numbers that has negative exponent, you have to flip them. For number 14, if you have a negative exponent on the top and as well as negative exponent on the bottom, so what you're going to do is that simply you're going to bring the p on the top because it's a negative exponent, and bring the m on the bottom. So the m will go on the bottom and p go on the top. So p goes on the top, so flip him. If it's on the bottom, flip it to the top, and if it's on the top, then you're going to flip it to the bottom. So anytime you have a negative exponent, you have to put them into fraction. If they are on the bottom with negative exponent, flip them to the top. If the negative exponent is on the top, then flip it to the bottom. Now let's just look at zero exponent properties, and anytime you have exponent as 0, you just write 1 because any number to the power 0 is 1. So if you have number 15, 5 to the power 0 is 1. 45 to the power 0 is 1. 213 to the power 0 is 1. This whole thing to the power 0, 1. Any number to the power, if the exponent is 0, the number becomes 1. Now for number 19, the 8 remains 8 because this is just 8, but now x to the power 0 becomes 1, so the answer should be 8. For number 20, you're going to now change anything that has a x to the power 0, make it 1. So this is x to the power 0, this becomes 1. 3 to the power 0 becomes 1. X to the power 0 becomes 1. So this 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 plus 1, and this becomes 5. So the answer should be 5. Now for 21. This 11 remain as it is. This is 1 for x to the power 1. Y to the power 0 becomes 1. And then z to the power 10. So 11 times 1 times 1 times z to the power 10 will be 11 times z to the power 10. Now the last one, number 22 here. So 12 will be as it is, and x to the power 1, x to the power 0 is 1, y to the power 0 is 1, and then this become 13 on the top and 1 on the bottom will be 13 as your final answer.